Let me start by telling you something that will awaken your spirit in a way you cannot ignore. When God decides that your season is about to shift, nothing you witness, nothing you fear, and nothing that has ever stood against you can remain where it has been. You may feel pressure. You may feel stretched. You may feel shut out. But what you cannot yet see is that God is already preparing a miracle that will reach you so fully, so suddenly, and so powerfully that your life will not resemble what it was before it arrived. You are standing nearer to a breakthrough than you have ever imagined. And the very fact that you are hearing these words right now is a sign that God has positioned you on the path of something extraordinary. When God chooses to act, He does not seek permission from your history, your failures, your fears, or your opposition. When God moves, everything surrounding you must shift. There are seasons in life when God draws near in ways you cannot explain, but you can sense. Your heart grows restless, not from panic, but from a quiet stirring deep within your spirit. Something tells you that what you are facing is not the ending, but the preparation. Something whispers that the pressure you feel is not meant to break you, but to align you. Something inside you reminds you that God has already declared the blessing, and nothing in this world or beyond it can cancel what He has spoken. This is one of those seasons. This is the moment when God is pulling you out of what once restrained you and preparing to usher you into what He has already promised. And when God pushes you forward, you cannot stay in the place you were. You may be standing today in a space where everything feels tight. Doors that seemed ready to open stayed closed. People you trusted stepped away. Plans you thought were secure fell apart. But listen closely. This is not the collapse you assume it is. This is the tightening before the release. This is the pressure before the breakthrough. This is the final stretch before God sends a miracle so swift that it brings clarity to everything that once confused you. God may allow you to be pressed, but He will never allow you to be destroyed. He may let you walk through the valley, but He will never let the valley claim you. And right now, God is forming something for you that will surpass your expectations and silence every doubt you have ever carried. Sometimes God will allow you to reach the end of your own strength, not because He wants you to fall, but because He wants you to see the difference between what you can accomplish and what only He can accomplish. If everything in your life unfolded according to your plan, you would assume you built the blessing yourself. But when God guides you into a place where your strength is insufficient, your understanding is limited, your connections fall short, and your effort cannot carry you, He positions you for a miracle that makes it clear that only God could have done it. And God desires to do something in your life that leaves no fingerprints except His. You may look at your life and think that too much time has slipped away, too many errors have been made, too many setbacks have unfolded, and too many chances have fallen from your grasp. But God is not confined by time. He is not hindered by failures, and He is not slowed by detours. God works on a level beyond human comprehension. While you think you are delayed, God knows you are being shaped. While you believe you are being punished, God knows you are being prepared. What you call a setback, God calls a divine setup. And the miracle that is approaching is one that will restore every wasted season, rebuild every broken piece, and return everything that vanished in a greater form than before. There are things God is about to release into your life that no individual can stop. When God chooses to lift you, no one can push you down. When God decides to bless you, no one can block it. When God opens the door, no one can seal it. When God selects you for a miracle, no mistake you have made can reverse what He has declared. God does not change His plan because you stumbled. God does not withdraw His promise because you doubted. God does not abandon His purpose because you went the wrong direction. God is greater than your failures, stronger than your anxieties, and more faithful than your uncertainty. And when He determines it is time, He moves with precision, authority, and intention. You may not realize it, but you have been in a divine process. God has been stripping away what cannot accompany you into the next season. God has been removing voices that would have disrupted your destiny. God has been shutting doors that would have distracted you. God has been shaking relationships that were never meant to stay. God has been allowing discomfort to push you out of places where you would have settled. And while you felt like you were losing, heaven understood that you were being positioned. Every disappointment, every closed door, every betrayal, every delay was an instrument in the hands of God. There are seasons when God will allow everything familiar to fade so that you are compelled to lean on Him alone. He will let certain people go silent. He will allow certain supports to collapse. He will let certain plans fall apart, not because He wants you to feel abandoned, but because He knows that as long as you rely on something else, you will not rely on Him fully. And when God is ready to perform a major miracle, He places you in a position where the only explanation for your breakthrough will be God Himself. The reason your spirit feels unsettled is because God is shifting you. The reason you cannot shake the sense that something is on the horizon is because God is preparing it. The reason you feel pressure stretching and even moments of spiritual heaviness is because your life is on the edge of transformation. You are not stuck. You are not forgotten. You are not being punished. You are being carried into a moment that was written into your story long before you were born. And no force in existence can alter what God has spoken over your life. There are miracles God releases after long seasons of waiting, not because He must wait, but because He wants you to be strengthened enough to carry what He is preparing to give you. Some blessings require maturity. Some breakthroughs require endurance. Some miracles require deeper faith. And God has allowed certain delays not to harm you, but to shape you. You cannot carry a miracle with weak foundations. You cannot walk into purpose with a fragile spirit. So God has been developing you, stretching you, deepening you, and equipping you. And you are far stronger now than you were a year ago, 5 years ago, or even 10 years ago. You are ready in a way you cannot yet recognize. Think for a moment about what you have survived. Think about how many times you felt on the edge of collapse but somehow stood. Think about the nights when your heart was heavy but you woke the next morning with strength you never expected. Think about the battles that should have broken you but instead molded you. Think about everything that tried to destroy you but failed. You were not kept by chance. You were kept by God. You were carried, shielded, and preserved. If God saved you from what was behind you, He will not abandon you in what lies ahead of you. God does not begin something He does not intend to complete. You may not see clear signs of the miracle yet, but God often works in silence before He moves in power. The ground beneath you shifts before the blessing rises. The seed breaks before the plant emerges. The night darkens before the morning appears. And just because God has been silent does not mean He has been idle. God has been working behind the scenes, arranging circumstances, aligning opportunities, and preparing breakthroughs that are far greater than anything you have imagined. You are closer than you think. If God showed you everything He is about to do, it would overwhelm you. Some of you are about to walk into open doors you did not request. Some of you are about to step into opportunities you did not pursue. Some of you are about to receive blessings you did not anticipate. Some of you are about to see God restore what you assumed was lost forever. Some of you are about to be elevated in ways that will leave people astonished. And it will not be because of your connections, your qualifications, or your history. It will be because God has chosen this moment to release something significant into your life. There are people who counted you out, but God counted you in. There are opportunities that slipped away, but God is bringing greater ones. There are seasons that ended painfully, but God is preparing a new chapter. There are nights you cried alone, but God collected every tear. There were battles that drained you, but God strengthened you through all of them, and nothing you have faced has been wasted. God never wastes pain, never wastes tears, never wastes storms. Everything you endured served a purpose. Everything that hurt you taught you something. Everything that challenged you strengthened you, and everything that confused you is about to become clear. Sometimes God will not change your situation right away because He is transforming you. Not to weaken you, but to make you unstoppable. Not to break you, but to rebuild you. Not to punish you, but to position you. And the version of you that is emerging from this season is stronger, wiser, sharper, more resilient, more focused, more disciplined, and more aligned with your true purpose. You are no longer the same person you were when the storm began. You are being transformed into someone who can stand on higher ground without being crushed under the weight of the blessing. God is preparing to do something so powerful in your life that even you will stand in awe. You will ask, how did this happen so quickly? How did this door open? How did this opportunity find its way to me? How did this shift occur? How did everything turn around? And the answer will not be found in your own strength. It will lie in the undeniable truth that God has placed His hand on your life and chosen this moment for you. You have remained faithful in seasons where it seemed like nothing was moving. You kept going when you felt drained. You kept believing when doubt tried to take over. You kept holding on when the weight seemed unbearable. And God has seen every single moment. God sees what no one else notices. God understands what no one else comprehends. God knows the silent battles you never mentioned. God knows the fears you kept to yourself. God knows the nights you prayed with tears streaming down your face. And nothing you have given, sacrificed, endured, or overcome has gone unnoticed. There are miracles that arrive through sudden shifts. There are miracles that arrive through quiet intervention. And then there are miracles that come with great force. Miracles that hit your life like a rushing wind and change everything in an instant. Miracles that alter the direction of your life in a heartbeat. Miracles that lift you to heights you never imagined. And that is the kind of miracle God is preparing to release over you. But before the miracle comes, God often allows the pressure to intensify. Just before the blessing breaks through, life feels the heaviest. Just before the breakthrough appears, discouragement tries to take root. Just before the door opens, it feels like everything is working against you. And many people give up just before God moves. But you are not going to give up. You are not going to collapse. You are not going to walk away from this moment, because the very pressure you feel is a sign that God is near. The shaking is not the end. It is the signal that your life is about to shift into a realm that will make everything you've endured seem small compared to what God is about to release. There will be people who cannot understand how you rose so quickly. There will be voices asking why the blessing fell on you. There will be observers who can't explain how everything changed for you. But what they will not see is the years of pressure, the nights of prayer, the seasons of endurance, and the quiet faith that carried you through it all. God is not blessing you publicly without remembering your private sacrifices. Some of you are about to experience restoration that will leave you in awe. God is about to return what was taken. God is about to repair what was damaged. God is about to replace what was lost. God is about to lift what was weighed down. God is about to revive what was fading. God is about to reward what you thought went unnoticed. And when God restores, He does not give back the same. He returns it better. He returns it multiplied. He returns it in ways that surpass expectations and silence doubt. You may feel as if you have been stuck in a holding pattern, circling the same mountain, facing the same resistance, battling the same struggles. But God is about to break that cycle. The delay is ending. The stagnation is ending. The silence is ending. The unanswered prayers are about to be answered. The heavy load is about to be lifted. The closed door is about to swing wide open. And when God opens it, no force in the world will be able to close it again. There is a shift happening in your spirit right now. You may not see the miracle yet, but something deep inside you senses it is close. Something is changing, something is breaking free, something is preparing to manifest. The atmosphere of your life is transforming. The ground beneath you is reacting to what God has already declared. And everything that once resisted you is about to release you. The miracle that is coming is not a small one. It is not a partial blessing. It is not a minor answer. It is a major breakthrough. It is a radical change. It is a life-altering intervention. When it hits, it will come swiftly. When it arrives, it will restore instantly. When it hits, it will elevate immediately. When it arrives, it will multiply rapidly. This is not the blessing you have seen before. This is not the answer you expected. This is greater. So lift your head, steady your heart, and strengthen your faith, because God has seen your struggles. God has heard your prayers. God has watched your perseverance. God has counted your tears. God has kept you through the storms. And God is about to flood your life with a miracle that will leave you forever changed. When God is ready to release a miracle of great magnitude, He does not send it to a shallow spirit. He pours it into someone who has withstood enough pressure to remain firm when the blessing comes. And that is why you have felt stretched in ways you never anticipated. God has been strengthening your inner foundation so that the weight of the miracle will not overwhelm what He is about to build through you. There are blessings that come lightly, and there are blessings that come with responsibility, influence, growth, and transformation. What God is preparing for you belongs to the second kind. This blessing is not coming to decorate your life. It is coming to redefine it. Right now, God is testing the strength of your faith, not to expose weakness, but to reveal your capacity. God is not interested in filling your hands with something you're not prepared to carry. So He takes you through situations that push you to dig deeper than ever before. He allows uncertainty so you learn to trust even when you cannot see. He allows resistance so you learn to stand strong without faltering. He allows silence so you learn to follow without needing signs. And every time you choose to stay faithful, even when what is happening makes no sense, you pass a spiritual test that unlocks a new level of blessing. Your miracle is not coming because life has been simple. It is coming because you stayed in the fight when everything tried to break you. It is coming because you kept believing when it seemed like God was far away. It is coming because you refused to let despair swallow your purpose. God views endurance as worship. God sees perseverance as devotion. God sees consistency as faith. And when someone holds on through storms, God sends blessings that do more than reward, they elevate. There are miracles God sends quietly, and there are miracles God sends with such force that everything in your life must adjust. What you are about to receive falls into the second category. This is the kind of blessing that rearranges spaces so new doors can open. The kind that shifts relationships, redirects your steps, and reorders your priorities. God is not just giving you something. He is repositioning you for something much greater than the struggle you've survived. And understand this, when God decides to advance your life, He does not wait for the approval of people who misunderstand you. Some of the disappointments you faced were necessary for God to create room. Some people were removed because they would have diluted your blessing. Some connections had to end because they weren't meant to walk with you into your next level. God will never allow the wrong voices to influence a miracle meant for your destiny. If He separates you, it is always for protection and purpose. What feels like loss is really God tightening the circle around your life to keep your spirit pure and undisturbed. There is a moment before every miracle when confusion rises. You may feel pressure from every side. You may feel drained. You may feel overwhelmed by thoughts that whisper that nothing will change. But the presence of that confusion is not a sign of defeat. It is a sign that the enemy senses what you have not yet seen. When God is about to move in your life, disruption increases, opposition intensifies, doubt tries to settle in because everything around you knows the atmosphere is shifting and the blessing coming your way is too significant to go unnoticed. But hear this with your whole spirit. No force can interfere with what God has determined. No opposition can cancel what God has scheduled. No attack can stop what God has ordained. You are not fighting for a miracle. The miracle is already yours. You're simply walking toward the moment when God reveals it, and when it manifests, it will not come weakly. It will come with the full authority of God's decree behind it. Some of you have been praying for clarity. You've asked God to show you the way, to open your understanding, to reveal the next step. But what you need to understand is that God often gives direction through movement, not explanation. He leads you by changing your surroundings. He guides you by removing distractions. He pushes you through closed doors that direct you toward better ones. And while you thought you were lost, God was guiding you with perfect precision. You are not lost. You are being led. You are not confused. You are being aligned. You are not wandering aimlessly. You are walking a path that God Himself designed before you were born. And the miracle you're approaching is not coming from the outside. It is rising from the plan that has always been within you. Let me speak directly to the part of you that has grown tired. There is a version of you that has been fighting silently, carrying burdens no one knows about. God has watched every step. God has heard every unspoken prayer. God has counted every tear. And God has measured every weight that is rested on your shoulders. You have carried things that would have crushed others. You have endured trials that were meant to strengthen your spirit for this very moment. And God would not have brought you to this point in your journey without fulfilling His promise. As the miracle nears, God will enlarge your spirit before He enlarges your territory. You may wake up with a new boldness, a new strength, a new clarity, not because life has changed, but because God is preparing you on the inside. The shift always starts within before it shows up around you. And when you start feeling that surge of courage in your heart, know this: your breakthrough is no longer coming. It is close enough to touch. Someone listening right now is about to see doors open that have been shut for years. Someone is about to see prayers answered that seemed forgotten. Someone is about to be lifted to a position that once felt out of reach. Someone is about to receive favor that you didn't earn, opportunities you didn't pursue, breakthroughs you didn't anticipate. And it will happen because God is faithful, not because life has been fair. Let this truth settle deep within you. God has not brought you this far to leave you empty-handed. God has not allowed you to grow, suffer, overcome, and endure for no reason. God does not waste seasons. If it broke you, He will use it. If it tested you, He will strengthen you through it. If it delayed you, He will compensate you. If it refined you, He will elevate you. What is coming next is bigger than your past, bigger than your fears, bigger than your present struggle. It is bigger than every negative word spoken about you. It is bigger than every failure behind you. It is bigger than every doubt that tried to stop you. God is about to prove that the storm did not defeat you. The setback did not define you, and the hardship did not have the final say. This miracle is not coming to slightly improve your life. It is coming to completely transform it. And when God transforms, He does not simply adjust small things. He changes the entire atmosphere around you. You are about to be lifted from places you prayed desperately to escape. You are about to step into spaces you once admired from afar. You are about to witness God move in ways that silence every voice of doubt and fortify every part of your faith. So prepare your heart, prepare your mindset, and prepare your expectations, because God is already at work. The miracle is already written. The blessing is already released. It is heading toward you with purpose. And the moment it arrives, your life will expand in ways you never imagined. And every part of your spirit will know that God has always been faithful. There comes a point in every spiritual journey when God no longer allows you to remain at the level where you once survived. That moment comes quietly at first, like a change in the wind, a stirring within your spirit, a subtle realization that the life you've known cannot continue the same way. And when that moment arrives, you begin to sense that God is not just leading you forward, He is pulling you upward. You feel the call in your spirit before you see the change in your life. You begin to notice that your comfort no longer comforts you. Your old patterns no longer fit. Your previous confidence is not enough for the new territory ahead. God begins to expand you internally because the miracle coming requires a new version of you. A version that can stand strong in places that once intimidated you. There are times when God brings you to the edge of yourself so you finally understand that your life is supported by something far greater than your own strength. When you try everything you know and the door still won't open. When you do everything you can and the answer still doesn't come. When you push with all your might and nothing moves, it is in that moment that God speaks into your life. Not to diminish your effort, but to awaken your dependence on Him. Because a major miracle doesn't flow through the strength of human hands. It flows through the surrender of a trusting heart. God is not waiting for you to be perfect. God is waiting for you to be open. You may not realize it, but God has been working in ways you did not see. The disappointments that confused you were actually redirecting you. The delays that frustrated you were actually preparing you. The endings that hurt you were actually freeing you. And the silence that frightened you was actually God protecting you from stepping into things that would have drained your spirit. Every unanswered question in your past was answered in heaven long before you ever asked it. God does not guess. God decides. And everything you've walked through was part of a design so precise that one shift, one moment, one conversation could now unlock the miracle meant for your life. What you must understand now is that God is not asking you to understand what He is doing. God is asking you to trust that He is doing it. You don't need to predict the path when God has already prepared the destination. You don't need to calculate the timing when God's timing is always perfect. You don't need to figure out how everything will unfold when God has already woven the result into your story. And because of this, the miracle heading your way will feel both sudden and impeccably timed. Some blessings come like seeds. You plant them, water them, and wait. But some blessings arrive like a flood. They come so fast that they wash away everything that once held you back. And what is coming next in your life will not be slow. It will not be subtle. It will not be gradual. It will be a breakthrough that lifts years of weight in an instant. A shift that replaces anxiety with peace, confusion with clarity, and fear with boldness. When God moves powerfully, He does not ask for permission from the circumstances around you. He speaks and everything obeys. You may have felt recently that life has been shaking. Things you depended on became uncertain. Doors you trusted suddenly closed. Situations you counted on changed without warning. But that shaking is not a sign of collapse. It is a sign of construction. God shakes what cannot sustain the future so He can build something stronger in its place. And the more intense the shaking, the closer the blessing. If your life feels like it's been rattling from the inside out, lift your head. God is clearing the ground for something huge. There is a cleansing that God brings just before He releases a major miracle. He clears the atmosphere. He exposes hidden motives. He reveals truths that were buried. He breaks ties that were draining your spirit. He removes people whose presence would have disrupted the blessing. And while you may have mourned these losses, God sees them as victories, because God will never allow someone to stand beside you who cannot handle the elevation He is bringing into your life. The miracle on its way requires purity of heart, clarity of mind, and depth of spirit. God is clearing the space around you so that when the blessing comes, it lands on ground that is firm, clean, and prepared. And hear this clearly. When God decides it is your time, He doesn't need a large opening. He doesn't need perfect conditions. He doesn't need everyone around you to agree. God can use a single moment to change an entire lifetime. One phone call, one opportunity, one connection, one encounter, one shift. God can turn everything in your favor with less effort than it takes for you to breathe. That is the power of His might. And that is the force preparing to operate in your life. There is a part of you that has been questioning if you are truly ready. But readiness is not built through certainty, it is built through willingness. God is not looking for someone who knows every step. God is searching for someone who will take the step even when the path is unclear. And you have shown time and time again that you will move forward even when you're afraid. You will keep going even when you feel alone. You will keep believing even when the odds are against you. And that, more than anything else, is what positions you for a miracle of great magnitude. Some of you have carried guilt and shame from your past, thinking it disqualifies you from the future God has prepared for you. But God does not build your tomorrow based on who you used to be. God builds your tomorrow based on who He knows you are capable of becoming. Your past is not a cage. It is a classroom. What tried to break you only clarified your purpose. What hurt you only strengthened your spirit. What you lost only made room for what God plans to give. And God never gives based on your history. He gives according to your destiny. As your miracle draws near, you will notice that your spirit becomes more attuned to subtle shifts. You will begin to feel drawn away from things that once consumed your focus. You will find yourself drained by conversations that no longer energize you. You will feel the need to step back from environments that no longer align with your purpose. This is not you losing interest. This is God pruning your life for elevation. God does not allow anything unnecessary to remain in the soil where a miracle is about to blossom. There is also a moment before the blessing when God will stretch your faith beyond what feels comfortable. He will ask you to trust Him in deeper ways. He will encourage you to release worries you've held on to for years. He will invite you to loosen your hold on the outcome, because the miracle coming your way is not something you can predict, control, or manage. It is something you must receive. And to accept something that significant, your spirit must be open enough to let God move freely. Let me speak directly to your heart. Your current struggle is not a sign that God has forgotten you. It is a sign that God is preparing you. Pressure is not punishment. Silence is not abandonment. Delay is not denial. Every pressure point in your life has been building your resilience. Every moment of waiting has been fortifying your patience. Every season of silence has been sharpening your discernment. And every challenge has been molding your character into something capable of carrying what's coming. When God is about to deliver a miracle that alters your entire destiny, He does not just bless you, He transforms you. And that transformation takes place inside before it manifests outwardly. Your thoughts begin to align with your purpose. Your spirit starts to release what once burdened you. Your heart becomes lighter. Your vision becomes clearer. Your faith deepens. And before you even see the miracle, you begin to feel the atmosphere of it surrounding your life. You are entering a season where God's movement will be unmistakable. You will see evidence where there was emptiness. You will find favor where there was rejection. You will encounter opportunities where there was only loss. You will experience peace where there was chaos. And you will know with every part of you that only God could have orchestrated such a transformation. Your miracle is not coming for a visit, it is coming to stay. It is not coming to inspire you for a moment. It is coming to elevate you for a lifetime. It is not coming to give you a glimpse of hope. It is coming to anchor you on purpose. And once it arrives, everything in your life will bear the mark of God's power, God's mercy, and God's intention. Because God is not finished with you. God is just getting started. There comes a point in every life when you must decide what to do with the truth that God has been pressing into your heart. You can hear a message like this, feel it, stir your spirit, and walk away unchanged. Or you can rise to the call that God is placing before you right now. The miracle that is approaching your life is not meant to merely excite you. It is meant to awaken you. It is meant to ignite something deep within you that refuses to settle for a life lived on the edge of your full potential. And if there was ever a time to turn your whole heart toward God, it is now. You cannot move into the next season of your destiny with a divided heart. You cannot carry old doubts into a place God has reserved for your strength. You cannot hold on to fear when God is calling you into deeper trust. God is not asking you to be perfect. God is asking you to be sincere. Sincere about where you've grown distant. Sincere about where you've become weary. Sincere about where you've lost focus. Because the miracle coming your way requires more than just excitement. It needs surrender. It needs a heart willing to follow God with clarity, humility, and purpose. So stand before God with your whole spirit open. Lay down every heavy thought, every anxious fear, every regret that keeps cycling through your mind. Release the pressure to understand everything. Release the fear of what you cannot control. Release the weight of trying to fix what only God can heal. Your life becomes lighter the moment you stop carrying what God never intended for you to hold. And as you open your heart, dare to ask God for more courage. Ask for discipline. Ask for wisdom. Ask for strength to walk away from anything that dims your light or distracts your purpose. Ask for a deeper awareness of His guidance so you do not miss the moments He has prepared. Ask for a spirit that moves with conviction, not hesitation. Because the path ahead requires someone who is fully awake in their faith, fully present in their spirit, and fully anchored in the belief that God will never fail them. Let your life become a testimony of what happens when someone chooses to trust God completely. Let your choices reflect a heart that knows God is the source of every blessing. Let your actions demonstrate gratitude for every step He carried you through. Let your words speak life into the spaces where darkness once tried to settle. Let your spirit shine with the calm confidence of someone who walks with purpose because God is breathing purpose into them. And as you stand on the edge of the blessing God is sending, refuse to shrink back. Refuse to dim your faith to meet the expectations of others. Refuse to let fear rewrite the story God is shaping within you. Lift your head, lift your heart, lift your expectations. God is not asking you to crawl into the life He designed for you. He is asking you to step into it with the authority of someone who knows they are guided, protected, and held. So move forward with a spirit that is bold, humble, and prepared. Let your heart remain steady. Let your mind stay clear. Let your trust be unshakable. The miracle God is releasing is not coming to someone who watches from afar. It is coming to someone who chooses to rise, someone who chooses to believe, someone who